A very good afternoon to everyone that is tuning to this particular YouTube channel. I myself am called TMT Malta as the last king. I'm the host. I do have my fellow pundits from that is Rainbow FM. I do have my brothers here next by my side. They shall introduce themselves, but then we shall be analyzing local scenes and even uh, football within Ugandan fraternity and football within that is Europe, and we shall also be giving our predictions. You trying to follow us on YouTube shall see whether Frank Roger or Ramsey, Uncle Ramsey, whether his prediction is right or my prediction is right. But then I'm going to give them the platform to introduce themselves, who they are, where they're coming from.
By names you call me Uncle Ram, Uncle of all nations. I do it on Rainbow Radio. I do sports, AM to PM show. And yeah, here we are trying to do what is best, and we love to do sports on the waves.
Yeah, okay, fine. For me, my name is called Frank Roger. I also do sport. That is the evening sports show, which always come from 6:30 to 7 p.m. We have come to this edition of the weekend, the daily podcast sports show, where we shall be giving you lots and lots from Uganda, locally, up to Europe, uh, concerning the weekend sports games which are coming today.
Okay, chap chap. Daily Fix is just a West Nile broadcasting services that is based in Nebi. Ramsey, kitemone no kodo you promoting teams a deck in Greater Region Minebi. Ina nyineri nya ngachi bedunga. Who is going to be the best team? Who is going to be the team that is going to go for that is the regional league, the FUFA Big League.
Talking about FUFA Big League, I think we're talking of regional league because when you're talking of the teams of Greater Navy, we're talking of actually 8 teams
Yeah.
who are going to participate in what we call the regional league. Talking of there is a Langis Pomix, there is a Paida Black Angel which has been there, there is a Paida United, the newly promoted. Talking about Hot Spring, talking about Navy Central, there is Pokwach Super Eagle, Pokwach Youngster, and that is a Pajobi. Those are the guys in the team. And talking about the new boys, we're talking of Pajobi and maybe Paida United. We are yet to wait and see what they can unleash in the season which is just coming. That is a 2022-2023. But I believe following what they did in what on the ongoing, that was what we call the zonals. What they did, we show what Paida did, and Paida United were the champions. So that can tell you clearly they will be coming into this game knowing they have something to prove. And I believe derbies over derbies around West Nile and around maybe Pokwach and Zombo is going to be a big show. But I believe this time around, the region, actually, this other side of the region, we're talking of Nyagak. Great heights are coming in the greater side of Nebi.
Yeah, chap to my brother that is Frank Roger. Frank Roger, ini benanonya who is going to be the big gong as far as Nebikawoni Pakwach and that is Zombo district. You all the teams Abora Mazo, Iparonya teams Makani Ma is going to be the big guy around because when Nebi Central. Gisendri Makwegi Chido up to play of Majiro Jugogi. Goya that is a Jumani Town Council of Gogi on a playing ground Majugogi Kacha in the Belutie, Ramsey Belutie, Jugogi 1-0. Dongi Paronya Kawoni, Paida United. Rivalry miginango bedo Nebi Central. Pakwach Youngster rivalry bedo nango Nebi Central. Kawoni do mwana no kuche Pakwach. Pakwach Youngsters kite ko rivalries adi ayo wana no kwa Jobi wati ko Super Eagle paida kuja tiko paida United paida United ko Black Angel. Black Angel they are going to concentrate much on winning the hometown rivalry nya Handreman the big guy within the town. Iparo nya Nebi Central kawoni ngite ko that is the Hot Spring. Nebi Central iparonya gichobuda we play off Nyukengo.
Yeah, that's a good question you have put forward there, TMT, because kaineno mo kitema regional league utia kude so far what your teams are abora makawoni and gidara mo regional league. You know, regional league is going to be tense given the fact that we have crops of interesting players and also teams in the team. When you talk about by the Black Angel, they have been in this league for so many years. Then without being regional. Relegated from starting for big league, and then you talk about the Central who have got in a lot of interesting young player, and also by the United who have just joined in the new dance which is in the regional league, plus also one neighborhood that is Pajobi United. It's going to be interesting regional league because right now by the Black Angel too, they have got also their young boy in the shape of by the United who have been the champion of fourth division Zobo district and also the champion of West Nile Zonal League. Probably it's going to be interesting given the fact that right now the players are moving up and down. They are trying to look for cream of player. You talk about Hot Spring, also they are recruiting as more, and also talk about Navy Central. They are recruiting players like Not for Fun, and also Paida United, Black Angel, Papuachi Youngsters, Super Eagle, plus other guys from that side. That is Arua City. I think the regional league is going to be interesting. It will be all about Kitemu Bekelu Jurutugumiman Bele quality, and also pay degree will be determining the kind of the football you will be displaying on the pitch if the regional league come to start.
It's okay. That has been Frank Rojja and my brother, that's Ramsey. Live along me, TMT Malta, the last king. But then we have a big story, my brother Ramsey.
Yeah.
There's a game that is taking on today. That is at Arua City,
Wow.
where there's going to be a West Nile team taking on, that is the Karamoja team. This is going to be the second leg of that particular tie.
Talking about FUFA, this is so far the third edition of FUFA Drum, and of course, at the first edition we saw Buganda region emerging as the champion, and the second edition it was the Asholi sub-region. So that tells you clearly West Nile is trying to get it for the first time, and they're trying so hard. And today being their first game against our side, in that is Karamoja, it's going to be a tough encounter in between the two. So far, we've seen the meetings in between the two teams. That is Karamoja and West Nile. It has happened so far 4 times. This is going to be the 5th edition in between the two sides. And all the 4 games, it has been West Nile emerging as the champion in the 4 meetings. And 3 of them ended in the West Nile winning. And of course, one of them was a draw in between West Nile and Karamoja. And the 5th one of today, I believe at home, the home crowd will be shouting, of course, praising their boys at home, how to make it forward, and how to play the way. When West Nile is playing their drum, FUFA drum is actually a game actually trying to promote the culture. And of course, we're well aware that West Nile, we have very many cultures in West Nile.
Yeah,
yes, Karamoja is coming with one single culture. So I'm trying to look at that mixture of culture all gathering at Arua today. Of course, many will be talking their language, many will be drumming their style of a play. But I believe West Nile today is going to make it so easy against Karamoja. If you ask me to predict, I might be forced to say a 2-goal leader to nothing against Karamoja.
That's my brother Ramsey, a 2-goal need for, that is the West Nile fraternity against Karamoja. My brother Frank Rojja, how do you see that particular game? How do you think the game is going to end? Ini paronya West Nile Jokogo Karamoja, and despite the fact that Marachi Kutimere Karamoja Kuchaonano Kechupodu Kuchamakwe, ini paronya Kechumupodu cha Samo Konyo West Nile fraternity or Chogocha.
I think though due to famine which has fallen in that side of Karamoja, that could not be the factor which may lead to the downfall of the Kejong. I know them because yesterday they arrived a little bit earlier. They want to also smear the environment in West Nile. Probably I want to look at Karamoja as underdog because they know they have also someone Creme de la Prima of their player who are applying that trade in the third league in Uganda, plus that type of big league and also regional league in that side of Eastern Regional. Probably the Karamoja also are coming that they know that this is their first leg with the West Nile province. So I've got also interesting player. You talk about Mama Chaban, you talk about Rashid Kawawa, who had a tremendous performer with the Royal Hill, plus a class of interesting player within West Nile. Probably it's going to be a tough encounter, but with a large number of fans which are coming from West Nile province in other regions. Probably, I'm seeing West Nile province are going to be taking that 3 point at the end of the day, but it's going to be a tough encounter. I'm seeing either a 2-1 in favor of West Nile province.
Maybe to add on that West Nile and Karamoja, following the clusters of players West Nile is having at their disposal right now, with a very experienced coach in Adudu Bosco. We all know what the man is capable of doing. He has been in Ugandan football for quite some time. That is the man, when you saw Ondu Parakawa almost falling down the relegation, he came up in the team and pulled the team back in the glory line. And that tells you clearly he has some pedigree coaching the team. And of course, the clusters of talent in a team of West Nile, talking about a player in Jariako James, very young but talented. We all know Ayo selector of Navy Central has been someone in the team. And another good player, Frank just mentioned the name, talking about Kawawa Rashid. Last season, we all witnessed what happened in Uganda Premier League. He was one of the best young players. So that tells you clearly the experience still in him. And the good thing about West Nile, we have talent, and West Nile is the home of talent. So with that alone, Karamoja is already worried.
Okay, West Nile, you do have a lot of talent. So before I go straight to that, the Uganda Premier League, but then I want to involve my brother, that is Ramsey. Ramsey, you are the technical team of that is the team Navy Central. How sure can you really tell the fans out there that OK Elliott is going to still remain a Team Navy Central,
Wow.
despite the fact a lot of rumors are trying to come out that OK Elliott is being wanted by Team Undoparaka? And I've just seen OK Elliott before you arriving here at this particular place, that is a hookup currency. OK Elliott was going for a training with his colleagues. A lot of players, he was moving with him here. I thought OK Elliott could be a selection into that is a West Nile team, because the pedigree this particular guy have is beyond understanding, a lot of experience and brilliancy.
Of course, talking about Okele Leo, let me start from the last point he just made. Yeah, he was also someone. I remember the game West Nile Province went and played in Alur Land. They played 2 games, which OK was available in the 2 games. But of course, he picked some other issue at home, so he had to cross from the other Masindi land going to their home. There was some home problem, so he had to go and handle that. And of course, with a coach like Dudu Bosco, if you report late for training, like 2 days late, just know you're not going to be in the team. So that is the reason why maybe Okelo Elio is at this side, but he was supposed to be in that team of West Nile Province. Let's leave that at that. Talking about the game, Navy Central, and of course the boy in OK Elio. Rumors has been making rounds that the man is going to leave Navy Central, is going to look for Aguna Pasya. Me, I'm not the PR of Team Navy Central, neither am I the CEO of the team. But if as the pundit, I know what is going around the town, and at least I know many things about the camp of Navy Central. I believe currently, as we are speaking, Okelo Elio is the player of Team Navy Central currently. But of course, a transfer in the camp is still open. Any team can come forward and say maybe you want this player, and it is up to the player, or maybe his personal person. I don't know if he has an agent, but I believe he has a personal person who can always talk the talk for him. And of course, it is between the team Navy Central, Okelo Elio, and maybe that personal person of him to connect to the other team, and they sit together on a round table. That's when they can push through with the transfer. But as it stands, the last time I hosted him on air, that was on a Rainbow Radio AM to PM show. I was with a Breki Sado. I called him, he talked to me clearly, and he made the listener aware that for him, this season, he hasn't finished business for Team Navy Central. So he's yet to finish the business before crossing any other team, meaning the season is just starting. So maybe he's still a player of Navy Central.
Okay, chap, I'll leave that particular story aside. It means that OK Elliott, to all the fans of Navy Central, OK Elliott is just going to be with you guys and is ready to take you guys to that is the big league before it gets to a greener pasture anywhere. But then where I want to involve my brother Frank Rojja, not Chibuga, straight out of from that is a Navy municipality. Frank Rojja, we have big teams around that have been doing transfers a lot in the market. Speak about the KTCA, URA, a lot of the Venoms, the Vipers. Who do you think among you two guys, the pundits from Rainbow FM, who do you think is going to again win the Ugandan Premier League as far as this new season is concerned?
Interesting question there from TMT Maltas, but also we have left in some story whereby on Sunday, the Black Angel will be hosting Congolo. That's on Sunday. That's at 4 p.m. But talking about the Uganda Premier League right now, as we talk, our clubs are moving up and down. They're trying to recruit a player as many as they can. Because when you talk about teams like Bull Football Club, they have signed in 7 player, interesting player, and you know their coach, that is Alex Isabre, one of the tremendous coach who has been winning games. Not funny, has been frustrating the big boys. Like KCC, even one team that is not Vipers, that is URA Sport Club Village Ogo plus couple of big boys. Probably it's going to be a tough season, even though the season is set to be kicking off in late October there. But you talk about Vipers, Vipers still have upper chances of defending that trophy. And also when you talk about URA, they've got also our own, that is Rotmio Komela, and then also they have got also another guy, that is George Senkaba, they have signed from Express. Express still in the struggling process, and also Sport Club Village Jogo. But I'll be seeing the 2 teams, the 3 teams, that is the Bull, KCC, and Viper. Those are the 3 teams I'm seeing could be, and also the Congolos. Though the Congolos, they have left, they have let one player, that is Alfred Lake, who have departed. One team that is Zambia with the Zesco United. That sounds also bad on their side there. But the 4 teams I'm seeing, that is Vipers, Bull, URA, and also URA Hill 2. I'll see them also the contender. But you know, Uganda Premier League is a very tough league where consistency in the league and also in the team and also in players do vary. So it's going to be tough encounter come season 2022, which is said to be resuming by October.
So interesting for brother, that's the Frank Rojja and Achibuga. But then Ramsey, do you think Bull FC can come closer, even contenting away the way my brother is trying to analyze? Ana Benanya Bull, Arua Hill has a lot of pedigree players. Arua Hill Uchiko players, Tungtuma, Achukupano Nyinga Daruzongo. But then Arua Hill, Gira Benanya, they're going to be one of the contenders, despite the fact Gibinu so nearly, but then Arua Hill, Kibetimo Malenga Kacha. Ini paronya Arua Hill cannot come closer to the Uganda Premier League contenders.
TMT Kenano Kiremo Pera Uganda tier for the season mate Maleng season Matay online team. That's why teams like SC Villa Geka Woni Nyingi Peketa Makena Kapi Nying Madong Woja Choma Nyingi Dong Makwe County Mo Uganda. But talking about Bola coming to be one of the contender, to me, I would say a very heavy no there because following what they did last season, yeah, they played a couple of good games. They even happened to thrash Vipers in the Continental game in there. And right now, Bull again playing in the country Uganda, playing Uganda Premier League. At the same time, also having a game in the Continental games is going to be very hard for Bull to balance the book in both Continental and a home affair. That is where I'm seeing a big trouble for a team like Bull. But of course, I'm talking about a team in Vipers. They have the clusters of good players and the depth in the squad is phenomenal. Following what they did last season, everyone showed it. And of course, their coach and the head coach, that is Oliveira Robantino, was also the man who has been winning a lot of awards in the country. And still, a striker in a Lobby Manzoki, still in the team Vipers. That tells you clearly it's going to be a big team still. And leaving Lobby Manzoki, there is another Nigerian boy they just got from Rwanda. His name is Abu Bakar. That is another player. So that tells you clearly Vipers is still going to be in the contest. And of course, you mentioned a name like Arua Hill. Yeah, it is still a working process. Last season, they ended in position 5. I believe maybe this season, if all goes well, they could maybe push closer to position 4 or maybe 3. But trust me, going in the top 2 is going to be hard for Arua Hill. They need some more time to come forward. Right now, we all know the lanky forward of Arua Hill, that is Alfred Leko, has left the team, and that has been the lead man of the team. So that should ring an alarm in somebody said that Arua Hill, going up front, they're going to struggle a little bit. We are hearing rumor that Olu, that is Kawawa Rashid, is also planning on leaving the team. The team are trying to set him to put in paper. But again, I think Arua Hill to go and compete in the top 2, I see it's harder. But as to me, if you ask me, KCCA is a big team in the country. They are going to fight back. And I'm only looking at a team in Vipers, URI, and KCCA in the top 3.
Okay, those are the predictions of my brother. That is Frank Rojja and that is Ramsey. Chap, you are going to the most wanted league that is being followed in Uganda as far as Uganda is concerned. Even West Nile Fraternity, Ramsey, wabeche kutapaka Europe, wabeche analyzing Lembele, Kecha Ugandan Premier, that is a European Premier League, that is a Premier League. Lembe Chako team any. How do you see Manchester United starting their game without a striker, starting their game without a typical holding midfielder? How can you analyze the new season for Manchester United, despite the fact that Erik ten Hag has brought in a lot of physique, a lot of tactics, but then there is no a holding midfielder, there is no a serious striker. Ronaldo is already aged up. That's why most of the club rejected his move from Manchester United.
Well, that's a big one talking about United. Of course, at the new era of Erik ten Hag, a very great coach. He has been coaching Ajax in Eredivisie. Someone would say that should be a farmers league, that teams like Ajax will always keep disturbing people that side. Again, coming to a competitive league in an English Premier League. You all watched how Manchester United played against the Salzburg and against Atletico de Madrid. That should be the point for someone. If you saw the level of physique Atletico de Madrid showed Manchester United, that tells you clearly that is what we have in the English Premier League. But of course, Manchester played their heart out up to the late time of 87 minutes. That's when they conceded that one goal from Yao Felix, who came from the bench. But I believe Erik ten Hag era is going to be some big era for Team Manchester United, following the era of Ole Gunnar and of course Rangnick. It wasn't very good for United. Many fans of United were feeling bad. But following what they did in the preseason, they played some couple of good games. All of us know lately Liverpool has been giving hard time to United. But you saw what they did. In the halftime, Liverpool brought in some young boys. Manchester gave them 3. Second half, they changed the big squad still. It was 1-0 in the second half, meaning it was 4-0. So that tells you clearly, Manchester this time around, they are okay. Your question was about around Cristiano Ronaldo, the number 9, and of course, the holding midfielder. The reason why Manchester United struggled so hard last season was about the midfield rank. Many has been blaming Harry Maguire. that Maguire is not doing enough. Maguire is actually being calamity in the defense, not knowing Manchester were lacking a holding midfielder. If you watch Harry Maguire playing for the Three Lions, the national team of England, no one will always tell you that Maguire is a bad player in the defense. Just because you have certain Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice holding the play for you in the midfield, meaning Maguire is doing the less work. But for Manchester United, there is no six who is holding you well. You have a six in Fred and McTominay. These guys they are just ups and down. At times they are okay, at times they are not okay. That's why Manchester United conceded over 57 goals last season. But again, this season, to me, I feel like the same thing is still going to happen. Just because you are bringing in a certain age player in Ericsson. Ericsson is good at romancing ball, but not making the cover of the defense. That is another thing. I don't think if Manchester is looking at that. Eric is a very good player. That is Ericsson for you. Very good. But again, moving forward, he can do it for you. Stamina-wise, it's not there. You need a holding midfielder who is very hard. Like maybe Czech Dukore, talking about Wes Bissouma of Tottenham. Those are the hard guys in the midfield. But for Manchester United, to me, I feel they're going to have a big challenge in the midfield again, following the team like Manchester City. Bringing in, you have certain Gundogan in your team. Bernardo Silva is in the team. And you have another hard guy, talking about Calvin Phillips. Talking about teams like West Ham, they have the cracker in the midfield. Arsenal will say they have an era guy, that is a Granit Xhaka, that is a red card master. But again, when you follow the midfield of Arsenal, lately towards the end of the season, you saw what Martin Odegaard was doing in front of the midfield, and now be given the armband. It's going to be a hard one. But for United today, I think the game is on Sunday. I believe on Sunday, rumors are saying that there is some injury with that is Antonio Martial. But of course, don't be surprised if Erik ten Hag is going to use some mind game from Netherlands to England, that this guy is sick, so that people can be focusing on bringing Ronaldo, not knowing Martial will be the one facing Brighton and Hove. But I believe before the deadline day, if I am the coach of Manchester United, I need a holding midfielder, a very hard one. Not just talking about Frankie de Jong, talking about Anthony. You need it, not just talking about Sesko. You needed a holding midfielder. That's what I think.
The likes of Ndindi.
The likes of Ndindi. That is the player we're talking about.
Okay, chapter leaving that particular story of Manchester United aside, Frank Rojja, I'm trying to involve you here. Liverpool, after let go of that Sadio Mane, very talented winger, was a lot of pedigree, is trying to show what is made of, just because Liverpool have failed to pay that particular salary per week. Sadio Mane has departed to that is Bayern Munich is doing a lot of wonders there, and Pep Guardiola have started now regretting. Do you think Binopa, that is the new striker, Darwin Núñez, is going to help Team Liverpool? Look along Diego Jota, that is Roberto Firmino. They're all struggling strikers. We saw what Darwin Núñez did against the recent concluded, that is Community Shield with the Manchester City. Darwin Núñez looks to be an established player, but then Liverpool have made a loss. Let go of that is Sadio Mane, according to me.
I think I wouldn't wish Liverpool to regret the mistake they did to let go of one man, that's Sadio Mane, well tried and tested a striker in the shape of Sadio Mane, very hardworking. This is a guy who could drop in the midfield and pick the ball and drive it up there in front of the likes of Sadio Mane, and one man that is Luis Diaz, who have just come in the transfer there. Probably it's going to be a tough season for Liverpool, but when you look at their recent game, which have just been concluded against Manchester City in the Community Shield, they have shown some good display there against Citizen. Though people say we need to give time, because we look at one man, that is Núñez, who came from the bench and came and scored in a goal there in his debut in a big game there, and also moving away with that Community Shield there. That sounds so interesting, but it's all about giving time. But for Sadio Mane, no, all of us saw what Sadio Mane did to the Liverpool. This is the guy who has been a king at the team of Liverpool. Had it not been because of him, I think the like of Mohamed Salah would have not been shining, because of his work rate and also his workability, where you see him switching from 11 to number 7. So that's true outstanding. Then we talk about Roberto Firmino. Age seems to be catching, 30 years plus, and also a lot of reporters are reporting that he has been linked with one team, that is Juventus. Probably is going to be so interesting. But when you talk about Liverpool in general, Liverpool, I think they don't have any problem. Maybe we need to give time for one man, that is Núñez, because Núñez is still in the new leagues. It's like this man of Man City, that is Emin Brotherland, the Citizen, have just signed in the transfer there. Probably Liverpool, they still have higher chances of also contending as the title contender for this season, because when you talk about their midfield is superb. You have Fabinho the brain master in the deep sea. You got their captain, that is Jordan
Anderson.
Anderson, who is also a workaholic midfielder who know how to dictate the tempo of the midfield. And then you have got one man, that is Thiago Alcantara, the pass master. Plus couple of interesting. Then when you talk about their wing backs, you have Luis there, you have Jota, you have one man that is this guy, that is Mohamed Salah in the team, plus other young guys that have signed in like Fabio Cavallo, they have recruited in the team. Probably Liverpool will be good to go. I still put Liverpool also a title contender. No matter fact, Sadio Mane has departed there, but Liverpool they still have upper chances with the crops of interesting players that got in the team.
That's according to my brother Frank Rojja Nachibuga. He still believes Liverpool is going to be the contender as far as the new season is going to begin, as far as this game is going to start tonight, where Arsenal shall be taking on that is Crystal Palace. But then another talking point is we all watched that particular game between Manchester City and that is Team Liverpool. We saw Erling Haaland, a high-rated striker, was struggling, even putting the ball at the back of the net. We saw that a late finish up, a round-up finish, just putting the ball at the back was disturbing him. Do you think Erling Haaland is going to succeed at Premier League, or is going to struggle a lot?
Football is football. Anything happens in football, and of course, not every day is going to be a Sunday for you. And of course, at times you'll be up, at times you'll be down, just like what I said earlier on. But trust me, Erling Haaland has shown the world what he's capable of. The boy is still very young, and of course, when you look at him, he looks like someone of maybe 30 plus. But of course, he's a very young boy, a teenager playing football for you. He has shown the great heights of playing in a Champions League. You saw what he did in the Champions League. One of the best young players, of course, scoring goals for fun. And when he came in Manchester City, you saw his debut against one team in Bayern Munich, scoring a goal in there. And of course, he struggled against Liverpool. Maybe I would be forced to say that was not his good day in office. But of course, he's a big boy. He can play some good football. Trust me, following his kind of a physique, the level of aerial drills he does, just like the one of CR7, it's not going to be a hard thing for him to really showcase something in the Premier League. And don't be surprised if I tell you that this guy is going to score a goal tomorrow for Manchester City so that the doubters can always be silenced. I think Erling Haaland, English Premier League, is where he belongs, and he's gonna do something big.
Yeah, Erling Haaland, that's where he belongs, according to my brother Ramsey. Ramsey be paroma kwenya Erling Haaland, chichi mutango mokochi as far as English Premier League is concerned. But then chap mpira bachako chini in English Premier League awo beneno nya chenga beach mati eni sangwen tap minute yenu. Crystal Palace gimakri ko Arsenal, meanwhile chenga bo Sierra beneno Fulham gimakri ko Liverpool, Bournemouth gimakri ko Aston Villa, Leeds taking gimakri ko Wolves, meanwhile Newcastle gimakri Nottingham Forest, and Tottenham gimakri ko Southampton, Everton gimakri ko team Chelsea. Mpira be mere ko mecha paka jiyenga ininda biro mwini mirabora. Leicester gimakri ko Brentford, Manchester United gimakri ko Brighton and Hove, and West Ham United gimakri ko Manchester City. Our talking point and our prediction uchibinu ka warning Kenny. The talking point is here. Arsenal taking on that is Crystal Palace at their home. How do you think Patrick Vieira will go against team Paramego Yechon and over and on Crystal Palace gitemo? Gienyo talo chomato chalo Man U gi dan machalo Man City gi. Gite team are underrating, but then they like beating the top-notch guys. Arsenal right now, they have acquired a lot of incredible players. Gabriel Jesus is there, Zinchenko is there, Fabio is there. What do you think Arsenal is going to do tonight? Do you think Arsenal is going to beat Crystal Palace easily, or is going to be a 12 where any team can win tonight? But we have been seeing Crystal Palace struggling as far as friendly is concerned. They have been beaten.
Following a Crystal Palace in the friendly they've played so far, they've played like a 6 friendlies, pre-season friendlies. Out of the 6, they happen to win 4, drawing 1 and losing 1. And for Arsenal, also playing a 6 in the pre-season friendly, winning a 5 and losing 1. That was against a team in Brentford, 2-1. And that tells you clearly it's going to be a very hard game for the both team. And Arsenal, that is going to be what we call the London derby, of course. When you talk about Sellers Park and Emirates, these are just neighbors in London. And that is another thing to watch. You saw Arsenal playing on a Friday. It is never good for Arsenal. It's never easy. The last time they opened the deal in the English Premier League last season, 2021-2022, it was against Brentford. Arsenal swallowed 2 goals. But of course, Mikel Arteta continues this morning saying, he believes that Arsenal boys' reason why they are not going to perform bad or good is because pre-season they played well. So he was telling Arsenal fans, do not be worried. Don't be also hoping too high that you're going to win because you are winning in the preseason. But you saw what the new boys are doing so far. If you watch the game Arsenal played against Sevilla in what we call the Emirates Cup and against Team Chelsea in the preseason friendly Florida Cup, you saw what a player in Zinchenko did. Zinchenko showed the level of pedigree, and of course, I said it clearly, I'm here to compete against Kylian Tini, the guy who is talented. And that tells you that Zinchenko is going to prove something big. And at Arsenal, if you watch how they play against Crystal Palace last season, the first leg ended 2-2 at Emirates. When they went back to Selhurst Park, it was 3-0 in favor of Crystal Palace. And what happened in that game? The error for Team Arsenal was from one direction, that is Nuno Tavares. We are well aware that right now Nuno Tavares is no longer playing for Arsenal. He went to Reims in France. And the man who was giving Arsenal a lot of pressure that day was Conor Gallagher.
Conor Gallagher has already reported to Team Chelsea.
Is Chelsea. So that tells you clearly the two kilometers and the two threats are no longer there in the team. So meaning any other person can pick up from where they left. But don't forget the attack three of Crystal Palace, the likes of Odson Edward, who scored a goal in Arsenal. Ayew scored a goal in Arsenal. And you know what this guy does? That is Wilfried Zaha. For him, he needs no introduction. You know him too well. And again, Arsenal is coming with a kind of a rare formation today. Everyone knew Arsenal over Kylian Tini or maybe Nuno Tavares. This time around, it's going to be Zinchenko in the left-hand side. Coming to the midfield, that is where the talk keeps on going. There is certain Smith Rowe is already injured, meaning there is a midfield of three. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey will be holding the play. And of course, the romancer, that is the pass master, Odegaard, the captain. He will be showing the world that he's the new captain of Arsenal, so he needs to do something for the team. And when you go in the front line, there is what we call evergreen Bukayo Saka, talented English boy, is always there. And the other left-hand side, you have another man. If you want me to ask you, you go to Liverpool, ask a player of Liverpool, that is Alexander-Arnold. You saw what Martinelli did to Arnold. So today, again, he's going to do it again as a team in a Crystal Palace. And again, the new man, that is Jesus Christo. Many Arsenal fans call him Jesus Christo, Gabriel Jesus. That is going to be a big one. But when you look at the defensive line, the pairing of between Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, that is very hard to break. So to me, it's going to be a tough game. Either side can go with the win, but I will be forced to say a 2-1 for Team Arsenal.
My brother Frank Rojja, what do you think about this particular entire London derby?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough encounter come tonight there between Arsenal and one team that is Crystal Palace, because these are the two giants who are also cropping themselves and also eating in the same city that is London. Because when you look at Arsenal, they are coming from the northern side, and then Crystal Palace are coming from south. So probably these are the two legendary captains who are managing the two teams. Because when you look at Patrick Vieira also as captain Arsenal, some ways back there in that team there of Arsenal, and probably it's going to be a tough encounter. Then when you talk about Mikel Arteta, we know the era of Mikel Arteta under one man, that is Arsene Wenger. He has captained Arsenal from Everton coming to Arsenal. Probably it's going to be interesting encounter there, because when you talk about what my brother Ram said there, the last season, how the season were between the two teams, the first leg ended a 2-2 draw. Even had it not been because of Lacazette who came in and came and equalized that game, ended in 2-2 in favor of Arsenal Crystal Palace. That was the first leg in Emirates. Then at the second leg, we saw Palace manage to wash Arsenal easily by 3-0. That will tell you Selhurst Park has not been an easy hunting ground for team that is Arsenal. And when you look at the team news which is coming, a lot of players gonna be missing side of Crystal Palace. Talk about Michael Olise is out with ankle injury, and then Jack Butland, goalkeeper, is out. James McArthur, Sam Johnson is also out. Then James Tompkins is also out. Then on side of Arsenal, Emil Smith-Rowe is out for tonight's encounter. Kylian Tini is doubtful with a knee injury. Fabio Vieira is also doubtful, and also Takahiro Tomiyasu is also doubtful. So it's going to be a tough encounter as the travel lineup will be given for the fun outside there. But for the team that is Crystal Palace, you have the like of Eze Ayew, Edison, Eduardo Plaza. These are incredible players. When you give them time, they can kill you easily. But it's going to be a tough encounter. I'm seeing a 2-2 draw for both sides.
A 2-2 draw for both sides. That is my brother Frank Rojja nachibuka. But then chapa ni fans yake Magimaro that YouTube channel pa Daily Fix. Obenanya Arsenal team enu tene matine gichi ku line up watching Fofotu formation obeneno Ramsdale chako chalo jagoli obeneno the other side Zinchenko obechako kecha Gabriel gitimo pairing terekenu, that is the Saliba. Meanwhile Ben White be go thingi mocha idiere keno aneno kipango dhana dek matek makwe Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, Giteko Odegaard, edi dhano magitugo midfield role. Meanwhile, wiye kucha wabeneno Martinelli, ko Saka, Jalo Laringo Bagibego, or their main striker from Manchester City, that is Gabriel Jesus. But then Chapter Brodaro go Ramsey. You know the fixtures in English Premier League, Echad League, Madano Maro, Chike Makwe in the Frank Rojja, Nachibuga Neo Makwe. I want us to give our prediction before we conclude this particular analysis for this particular week. Starting on tonight's game, tomorrow and Sunday.
Tonight again, maybe keep calling it, then I just give you what the bettors love the most, of course. Before I give you the fixture, if you're thinking of putting your money in, then bet what you can afford to lose. I know you guys love to bet. Bet what you're ready to lose. Because when you go hang yourself because you lost your money, that will be bad, not me. Betting is just game of chance. Starting it with tonight, the one of tonight.
Starting it with tonight, that is Crystal Palace taking that is Arsenal on Friday.
Like I said, when you're putting it, put your legs a little bit across, and then you're gonna give a 2-1 for Team Arsenal away at Sellers Park.
2-1 for Team Arsenal, according to that is my brother Ramsey. Meanwhile, on Saturday we have Liverpool taking on that is Fulham.
Fulham, new boys in the league, of course, are facing Mohamed Salah. Darwin Nunez want to prove a point. I think a win for Liverpool can do.
A win for Liverpool. Meanwhile, Aston Villa shall be taking on that is Bournemouth.
Aston Villa at Bournemouth, Stephen G, phenomenal coach in there with a couple of good players, a certain player, former player of Liverpool and Barcelona in the team, and my boy Ramsey Jacobs just putting pen to paper. A win for Aston Villa.
A win for Aston Villa. Meanwhile, Leeds taking on that is Wolverhampton Wanderers.
That's the game to watch. Very tough to really judge. But of course, the Leeds, a lot of good players at Leeds that left. Talking about Rafinha, talking about Philip. But again, at their home, I think it's going to be a draw in between Wolves and the Leeds.
Okay, meanwhile, Newcastle United taking that is Nottingham Forest fresh from signing Jason Lingard, and that is Dean Anderson.
I love my team, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle Moneybags. They are very happy. They finished the season so well. But again, Nottingham Forest, very new in the league. They want to prove a point. That game, I see a golo in that game.
A golo there, according to Brother Ramsey. Tottenham taking that is Southampton.
Tottenham with a couple of good players in the team. Perisic, Richarlison, and Richarlison facing Southampton from Everton. I think it's going to be a big one for Tottenham. But I think this time around, Tottenham is going to prove something big. A sure win.
A sure win for Team Tottenham. Meanwhile, the struggling Blue Derby, Everton has been struggling under the tutorship. That is Frank Lampard taking on Chelsea.
I don't want to waste time there. Let's not even talk big. A win for Chelsea.
A win for Chelsea. Meanwhile, on Sunday, Leicester City taking on the stubborn Brentford.
That is the game. Another tough game happening again in England. Of course, when you follow Leicester City, Jamie Vardy has been linked to move away. Very many players of Leicester are thinking of leaving Leicester. Talking about James Maddison, talking about Yuri Talisman linked to Arsenal. A lot of issues are happening at Team Leicester. But trust me, Brentford with my Rasta, dancing Rasta in Tony is going to be big. I will be forced to say a win for Brentford.
A win for Brentford, according to Ramsey. Manchester United taking on the stubborn Brighton and Hove, who has always been beating Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Brighton and Hove, Marco Corella is in the team. Again, speculations are linking him away from the team. He has been that big man in that team, helping the team a lot. And Manchester United wants to prove a point, of course, being a new coach. And I believe Manchester United, every new season, whenever they are starting the season, they start on a high note. Don't be surprised. It's a win for United.
Meanwhile, last but not least, as far as this particular week is concerned, on Sunday, Manchester City taking on your guy, that is West Ham United.
Do you know what I'm going to watch in that game? Declan Rice versus Calvin
Phillips.
That is the game to watch. And of course, one of the youngest captain in Declan Rice, 23 years of age. It's going to be a big game in between Moyes and Pep Guardiola. But that is where now pedigree is going to talk. Very good players in both teams. They always have something. Of course, they're talking about a player, Gerard Bowen, also being linked away. I know he will not give it in. And I think it's going to be a tough game. But again, Erling Brotherland, I needed this goal. And I think the reason why I'm going for them, I need a win for Man City for Erling Haaland to score a goal.
You need a win for Man City?
Yes.
Okay, Frank Rojja, Nachibuka, my brother. Crystal Palace Arsenal tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think a Golo can work. I'm seeing a 2-2 draw for
a 2-2 draw. Liverpool, that is Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham have just come in the league, but the pedigree will determine Liverpool a win.
Liverpool a win. Meanwhile, Bournemouth on Aston Villa.
Yeah, that is also a goal. Of course, Bournemouth also have got some young players who knows goals very well. They know very goals in back of the net. 1-1 draw for both sides.
1-1 draw according to that is Frank Rojja, Nachibuka. Meanwhile, Leeds taking on that is Wolverhampton Southampton Wanderers.
That is also another tough encounter between Leeds and Wolves, but I'm seeing a surprise win for team that is Wolves.
A surprise win for Team Wolf. Meanwhile, Newcastle United taking that is a Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
Fresh.
Newcastle United money bags they are okay because their bosses they want to please their boss today to tomorrow at St James Park. And Nottingham Forest also have got in another interesting player. Though here pedigree will be determined because of the Premier League. Newcastle United will be moving away with the 3 points
Because of St. Maximilian.
Yes, plus also other young guys.
Tottenham taking on Southampton Wanderers.
That is a sure
Southampton,
win,
yeah.
a sure win for Team Tottenham because you have got interesting coach in one man that is Antonio Conte. You have Ivan Perisic, Ves Bissouma will be in the deep six there. Son Heung-min, you have Harry Kane, plus also a couple of players in the team. That's a sure win for team that is Tottenham.
What about the Blue Derby? Chelsea taking on Everton.
Chelsea and Everton, that's going to be a tough encounter because one man that is Frank Lampard also wouldn't wish his bosses to see him as a bad person that he has made his former club to beat him. But it's going to be a tough encounter, a surprise win there for team that is Chelsea Football Club.
I hope you are getting to know the pundits are trying to analyze things here. Ramsey made his own and Frank Rogers is making his own. Please follow these guys so that when you want to cash money, but then Ramsey warned you, bet what you can get back, but don't bet something that makes you stressed up. Meanwhile, my brother Frank Roger on Sunday, Brentford taking on Leicester City.
That is also another interesting encounter which is coming because Leicester City, after the departing of their custodian, that is Kasper Schmeichel to Nice, probably they need to get another new custodian to come in on his footsteps there. Probably I'm seeing Leicester City might get that narrow winner. It might be either a goal to 0 on their side of that is Foxes.
Okay, chap. Man United, Brighton and who?
Always Manchester United when they are starting their season in the new era of the new coach, they always would love to please, and also I know the fans are going to feel that OT to the expectation of them, that 75,000 capacity of Old Trafford we feel, but I'm seeing a win for team that is Manchester United.
A win for team Manchester United according to both that's Frank Roger Nachibuga and my brother Ramsey. But then West Ham United, Manchester City.
That is also a tough encounter because when you look at West Ham last season, Manchester City came from behind and also they had to play a 2-2 draw. Had it not been because of the time, I think the game would have ended like that. But probably Manchester City with a class of players, they have got the new era in one man that Erling Braut Haaland. Probably Manchester City might also move away with that 3 point. But when they have struggled a lot to get that 3 point.
Okay, chap. According to me, it has been Frank Roger. According to me, the game between Arsenal and Crystal Palace, I'm going to defend Team Arsenal. I'm going to defend Arsenal because anything can happen. Meanwhile, on Saturday, straight win for Team Liverpool. That is Aston Villa and Bournemouth. I'm going to give a win for Team Aston Villa. Meanwhile, Wolves and Leeds, I always love playing 12. Ramsey knows so well. Any team can win that.
This one is
Meanwhile, Newcastle United and Nottingham Forest. I'm going to put a yes there for you. Betting you can follow match. Meanwhile, Tottenham and Southampton, I'm also going to put a 12. Any team can win. Meanwhile, Everton and Chelsea, I'm going to put a straight win for Team Chelsea because Everton are trying to struggle a lot. Meanwhile, on Sunday, Leicester City, after Schmeichel leaving that particular team, a straight win for Brentford. I'm going to give it for Brentford because...
Wait, you said a straight win?
A straight win for Brentford.
Leicester City?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Meanwhile, Manchester United and Brighton and Hove, a slight win for Manchester United. You give a straight win here. Meanwhile, Manchester City, after being beaten by Team Liverpool, you know how Pep Guardiola always react when mistake is being made. So Manchester City is going to beat West Ham United so easily. Thank you so much, the viewers who have been watching us at the Daily Fix podcast. We have been having a sports show analysis. My brother, that is Frank Roger Nachibuga, and my brother, that is Ramsey. I've been TMT Malta's The Last King. I want Frank Roger to start to tell his last word before we send out.
Okay, thanks a lot to the listener and you guys who are catching us there from the YouTube. Thanks a lot for keeping hooked to that, the new edition of the Daily Fix Weekend Podcast Sport Show. It has been me. Let's catch up next weekend if all things move well and also have a nice weekend sport show.
Well, we're talking about Daily Fix and, of course, a podcast that happens every single day in here. We appreciate every single thing you're doing for the lovers of sports in the region and, of course, Uganda at large. All I can say, I know very many football fans have been waiting for this day, especially English Premier League, and very many Shiba, and I'm talking about the halls that are putting this game. We always advise you not to keep fighting because I know Man U fans and Arsenal fans, they love to exchange words whenever things are not going right. But hey, we advise you not to fight. Football is a game of love. Like I said earlier on, when you're betting tonight, please bet what you can afford to lose because it will cause you something so bad. I still remain Uncle Ram, uncle of all nations, and of course, the best product of 1997. I say bye bye.
Okay, it has been the two pundits saying bye-bye to you, but then I also have to say bye-bye to everyone who have been following this particular sports show program. My brother Masman is behind this particular thing, and not forgetting that is Derek Offset. He has always been combined with the Masmanas, making sure that the top-notch name pundit within Western fraternity is being known on YouTube. We are so glad for that, but then catch us again next Friday. For anything when the regional league resume, we shall update you whether Hot Spring, whether it be Central. But then tonight, let's meet here at Hook Currency, where we shall be watching Arsenal taking on, that is Crystal Palace, and even beer shall be on a bucket night tonight before we drop to Matonge. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Derek Offset Masmanas, we love you so much. Goodbye.